All right. Good morning, everyone. We're at Whole Athlete Academy here, or Holy Athlete Academy. Today is day 6, and we'll be doing yoga here. I'm Antonio Davis. This is Heather Smith. She'll be running us through a nice yoga session. What I want to do is just kind of make sure you understand why we're doing this. This is our Life for Life charity drive for Save the Children coronavirus sponsor or fundraiser. So we're just giving you a balanced regimen of things throughout the week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have strength and conditioning. Anthony, Danny, and Lucas probably beat you up then. And then we got a little more of a mobility recovery core type work with mobility and core on Tuesday with me. Sharon will be doing Pilates with you on Thursdays and Saturday mornings. We'll end off the entire week with a nice session of yoga with Heather. Little fact here, my first yoga class was with this lady. My very first yoga class. I think that was like 4 years ago, maybe 5, something like that. So she's the one who kind of broke me into the yoga world and just started opening up more about mobility and flexibility. So couldn't have anybody else better to kind of run the show here. So I'll let her kind of introduce herself really quick, and then we'll get started.
All right, good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Heather. If this is your first time taking yoga, that's okay. It is going to be a vinyasa flow today. If you're familiar with the different types of yoga, it will still end with a time of relaxation. So if you're new, just take it easy. Nothing should hurt in this class. Yoga is not a no pain, no gain kind of thing. That's the opposite philosophy we got here. I'll show different modifications and options, so feel free to take those as needed. The only equipment you need is a mat, or even if you don't have a mat, your carpet, your floor, whatever you've got is fine. Last thing, I'm going to be mirror teaching. And so what that means is you'll always be going the same direction as me. So if I say lift up your left arm, it is my right arm, but it's so that we're both doing the same thing. So like a mirror. So don't let that confuse you. Just pay attention to the cues. I'm looking forward to our session together this morning. Y Maite, si estás mirando, te echo de menos. All right, let's start in a seated position. And we've got music by Tony today. So thank you for putting a playlist together. We'll see what's
no copyright problems here.
I don't know how to find that stuff. He does, so he did that for me. All right, so we're just going to start in what's called easy pose. If easy pose isn't easy for you, feel free to let your legs hang out in front of your body. You can even take a towel and roll it up and sit it underneath those sits bones to elevate them a little bit to make this a little bit more comfortable for you. Go ahead and close your eyes for me. And let's just focus on our breath for a couple minutes as we start. Just quiet yourself. And pay attention to how the breath is coming in and out of your nose. On your next inhale, roll those shoulders up and around. As you exhale, drop those shoulder blades back behind the rib cage. Next inhale, think about lengthening through your spine. Like there's a rope tied to the top of your head and someone is lifting you up. On your next exhale, think about grounding those sits bones down into the floor. Think about drawing your chin parallel to the floor. And hands can be gently at your side, they can be on your knees, whatever you prefer. So I don't know what your week has been like. Some of us are still going to work, some of us are working from home, some of us aren't working at all. Some of us are trying to facilitate remote learning with our children. It's not going so well. Or maybe you're lucky and it is going well. Whatever this week was like, we're going to put that aside. For those of you celebrating Easter, this can be a special time of meditation for you to reflect on what this weekend is about. do a couple breath exercises here. We're gonna breathe in real tall and strong through our nose. We're gonna exhale out through our mouth. As you're exhaling, I want you to think like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Take a big breath in, and then again. And a couple more at your own pace. Let's try to do one more. You can open your eyes now. Let's inhale our arms up overhead. And as we exhale, left hand drops, right hand goes for a nice side bend. Inhale and lift, and we exhale to the other side. Inhale and lift, just do a gentle twist. Left hand can drop again, back of the right hand comes to the outside of that opposite knee. And try to look over the back shoulder. Inhale to release and exhale to the other side. To release, arms are going to come open wide. And you're going to give yourself a hug. So wrap those arms, breathe in, nice tall spine. As you exhale, try to drop your chin into your chest. I never knew how much I missed hugging people until we got put on shelter in place. You see people and all you want to do is hug them and run up, but you can't.
Like,
right? You're like, oh no!
6 feet.
Let's lift up, open wide. We're gonna hug ourselves again, but other arm is going to go on top. For some people that's gonna feel awkward because you might have a dominant side. And then chin to chest when you're ready. No rules against hugging yourself. All right, let's lift up. We're gonna come into cat-cow. So on your hands and knees, you want your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath those hips, bellies pulled in. So anytime we're in this position facing the floor, you always want to support your spine and pull your belly in. I like to call it your pool abs or your beach abs, which again, we're not going to right now. But imagine you're pulling it up and in, you're not just letting it all hang out, right? So we've got our pool abs here. We're gonna take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, start to tip that tailbone down, start to roll through the low and mid back, and then your upper back. Your head drops last. When you're ready to inhale, the head starts to look up. Go through the shoulders, mid back, low back, tailbone flips. On your own breath, exhale to that cat and inhale to our cow. When you're in that cow, your hands are actively pushing the floor away. So we're not slumping in our shoulders. Let's try to get one more of each in. Really focusing on one vertebrae at a time. Open up that spine for us. And let's come back to a neutral position. And this time breathe in. And as you exhale, look over that left shoulder and try to look at that back hip. And then come back to center and go to the other side. So on your own breath, this is not speed work. It's not how many you can do. Just letting your breath guide your movement. Come back to center. We're going to come into a child's pose. So your big toes come together. Your knees can stay hip distance or you can spread them a little bit wider. We sit our hips back, trying to drop the forehead toward the ground. If it doesn't make it, this would be a good opportunity to use a block or a rolled up towel or something like that. Child's pose is going to be our resting pose. So you stay where you're at. Just want to talk for a minute. Child's pose will be our resting pose. So if at any point during our exercises today, if it becomes too much, your body needs you to take a little break, I want you to come into child's pose and then come back and join us when you're ready. All right, come on up, back to all fours. We're gonna come into our first down dog. So flip those toes, hands are still underneath the shoulders, and start lifting your hips to the ceiling. So your hands are actively pushing into the mat. Your hips are lifting. And then I want you to imagine you have a tail, and you're trying to lift your tail up to the ceiling. Try to rotate those hips. We're gonna pedal our dog or walk the dog right now, which is just alternating heel drops. So one at a time, just drop and lift, drop and lift. Think about trying to have your ears in between your biceps here as you keep lifting that tailbone. All right, leave those heels where they're at. And I want you to come up on your toes here as much as you can. I want you to bend your knees, and I want you to push your chest into your thighs. Try to open up your shoulders here. So down dog is not just about the legs. It's a whole body inversion here. Think about pushing that chest into the thighs. When you can't push anymore, then start to release those legs. You should feel a really nice stretch through your whole body here. From here, we're just gonna tiptoe, little tiny steps, little tiny steps, little tiny steps until your feet are up in your hands. Bend your knees when you need to. And we're in our forward fold. Forward fold, our knees are soft. Don't lock them out here. Our tailbone is still lifting. And I want you to bend your knees enough that you can try to place your chest on your thighs, even if that means bending your knees a lot. That is okay. I want you to feel that sensation of folding forward, not just arching your back or bending your back over. Let your head hang long. You can shake it yes, shake your head no, shake your head maybe. And just hold here through another couple breaths. You've got some compression in your chest here, so think about breathing out through your side body, breathing through the back of your rib cage here. We're gonna start some sun salutations. Bring your palms to your shins for a flat back extension. Think about lengthening out your spine. Try and make a flat board with your back. Some of you may need to press into your thighs to get that flat feeling. Just don't press on your knee joints. Exhale and release back down. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms extend overhead, our palms meet. We exhale back to our forward fold. You're gonna take your left leg and lunge it back nice and long. So we're in a nice long stance here, trying to keep the chest lifted. Now bring that leg all the way back to a down dog. As you inhale, roll forward into a plank position, wrists underneath those shoulders. You can drop to your knees for this first one. You're gonna take your elbow down to the ground, other elbow down to the ground, then lower your tummy, roll the shoulders back, and look up. So modified cobra here. Flip your toes, we're gonna come back to a down dog. So hands need to reach back by the rib cage, come to your knees, and up we go. All right, to lunge that right foot forward. Some people like to lift the right leg and then use the momentum to bring the leg forward. I like to crouch, so I crouch and bring it forward. If those don't work for you and you're like, my foot's never gonna make it there, then you can come to your knees and then step it through. So whatever's gonna help you get that foot forward is what I like you to do. Keep the left hand grounded, right hand is gonna lift for a twist. Let's release. We're gonna step it all the way back in. All right, going through a little bit faster now that we know the sequence. Inhale to your flat back extension. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we fold back down. Knees are soft. Left foot steps back nice and long. And back to our down dog. We inhale forward to that plank. Stay on your toes or drop to your knees. Elbow replaces the hand. We lower the tummy, we look up, squeeze the shoulder blades. Reach the hands back by the rib cage, flip your toes, back to down dog. Nice exhale here. Bend the knees here, lift that left leg, lunge it through the hands. We want that knee over the ankle, so just the ankle as needed. Our right hand plants, our left hand lifts for a beautiful twist. Hand comes down, we step it in. Inhale, flat back extension. Exhale, release. Inhale, up we go. Exhale, fold. Right leg lunges back. Big breath in. Exhale to down dog. Inhale forward to your plank. Now you can do the elbow replacements, or we can come into chaturanga. So start to slowly lower, elbows hug into the sides of your body. You can come to that modified cobra or push to an up dog, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale back to your down dog. Bend the knees or lift the right leg. Lunge that foot through the hand. Make sure the knee is up over the ankle, and we twist, right hand lifts. Release, step it in. Flat back extension, big breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, up we go. One more time through on the left side. Exhale, dive down. Left leg lunges back nice and long. Exhale to your down dog. Inhale forward to your plank. Knees or toes, either drop the elbows or chaturanga. Come on down. Cobra or up dog, squeeze the glutes. Exhale to your down dog. Bend the knees or lift that left leg, lunge it through. Left hand lifts for a twist. Release. Step it all the way in. Inhale, flat back extension. Exhale, release. Inhale, up we go. And sit back in a chair. If you need a drink, now is a good time to get one. Otherwise, hang here in your chair. Make sure you can wiggle your toes here, or if not, you need to shift your weight back a little more. Belly's pulled in to support the spine. If you feel yourself arching your back, which is pretty common, think about just tucking that tail under a little bit. Take your right hand to the back of the opposite knee. You're just gonna twist toward me. We're gonna work on some leg strength here with a little bit of balance. Let's release that twist. Back to chair. See if you can sit back a little bit more. You're gonna take your left leg is gonna lunge back, coming into high lunge. So arms are overhead. You want the right knee over that right ankle. Imagine your arms are holding onto a big beach ball. Nice strong legs. Option one is to stay right here. Option two is to come into warrior three, a very powerful pose. If you're coming to warrior three, here we go, we're launching off. Leg lifts, high or low. Arms are overhead. You're trying to reach fingertips and toes in opposite directions. If you need to tap your toe down, go ahead. Now start bending that standing leg, let the toe drop, hands frame your foot. Good, step that foot back to a plank. From knees or toes, we flow. We lower down, scoop up, down dog. We're gonna take that right leg and lunge it through the hands. So either lift it or bend the knees. Right leg comes forward. Let your back heel drop. We're gonna windmill up to a warrior two. So open up those arms nice and long. Our right toe is pointed away, but you should be able to see your big toe. If not, pull that pull that knee out a little bit. Shoulders over hips. Good. We're gonna extend. I want you to reach as far as you can, and then let your elbow hit your knee and lengthen. Here's option one. Option two, hand to the ankle. Option three, hand to the floor. If hand comes to the floor, make sure your hips sunk. We don't want our hips up in space here. Bring them down. Half bind, your top arm wraps behind. It can rest on the lower back. You can try to grab the opposite leg. Or if you want to try the full bind, your right hand needs to sneak it through. And we clasp
Whoa.
and try to open the chest. Not for everyone. Half bind, everyone can try.
Whoa. Nope. Stay right here.
All right. Right hand releases wherever it is. Lift up. Keep this knee bent. Coming into reverse warrior. Big breath in. Exhale. Think about C-shaping the spine. Don't let the pressure off that leg yet. Let's windmill those arms to frame the foot. Back heel flips. We step back to our plank and we flow through. Remember, child's pose is an option if you need a little bit less. And right leg comes through when you're ready. Back heel's gonna drop. We're gonna windmill our arms back into that warrior two. This time we're gonna get a little relief coming into triangle pose. So straighten out that leg. I want you to stick this left hip out a little bit here so you're kind of tilted and start reaching the arms long. When you can't reach anymore, right hand drops, left hand comes to the ceiling, possibly to the ankle, possibly to the floor, but you want to stay open. If lowering your arm makes you start to crunch over like this, then you need to lift that hand up a little bit higher as you're working on that flexibility. Should feel a really nice stretch through that inner leg here, possibly even the side body.
Yep.
I like to look at the ground or forward. Some people like to look up. For me, it's just not comfortable on my neck though. All right, bend that knee a little bit to push yourself up and out of it. And we're gonna come into goddess pose. So legs are wide, and we're just gonna sink back. We want our knees out. So if you feel your knees caving in, pull them out, belly's pulled in nice and strong. We're gonna cactus our arms. And those beautiful saguaro cacti out in the deserts of Arizona. From here, stay, or if you want to lift up your right heel, you can. Let's release. If you want to lift up the other heel, go ahead. Release, stay, or if you want to try both, come with me. And then you see how wobbly you are. Wobble, wobble, wobble. All right, release. Coming into warrior two on the other side. So your left toes are gonna point. You're gonna lean in till your knees over that ankle. Hips, shoulders square to me. Arms come out nice and wide. Triangle. Lengthen out that leg, jut that hip out. Reach, reach, reach. Let the left arm sink as the right arm goes to the sky. So that hand may land on the leg, possibly down to the floor. Again, just make sure you're not rounding that back. You want to stay nice and open, like you're trying to stack those shoulders one on top of the other. Look wherever is comfortable for you. Got that whole set on the other side, just reverse order. Start to bend that knee. You're gonna turn and face the floor, frame out that foot, pop the back heel, and when you're ready, step back to your plank, and we flow through. I will meet you in down dog. All right, when you're ready, left leg is gonna lunge forward. So either lift it, crouch, whatever helps you get it there. We're gonna drop that back heel, windmill up to our warrior two again. Again, you should have a line of sight to that big toe if you're looking for it. If not, pull that knee back a little bit. Keep it nice and strong. All right, let's start to reach, reach, reach. When you can't reach anymore, elbow drops, other arm extends. Maybe you can reach the ankle. Maybe you can reach the floor. Pick the option that helps you grow in your strength, your flexibility, your balance. Don't just pick the option that me or Tony are doing.
You.
Top arm wraps behind. And then if you want to try the full bind, drop that other arm, reach it through. A lot going on in the full bind. A lot of strength, a lot of flexibility in various areas of the body. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's good to challenge yourself when you need it. All right, if you're in that full bind, release the left arm. Everybody lift up, keep that knee bent, big inhale. Exhale into reverse warrior. All right, let's windmill those arms to frame out the foot, pop the heel, step the foot back, and flow through. One more sequence on this side. When you're ready, that left leg comes through again. This time, don't drop the heel because we're coming up into our high lunge. So push through that heel. We're holding our beach ball here. Nice strong pose. Either stay here or coming into warrior 3. Launch off if you'd like. Think about reaching fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Keeping a little bend in that supporting leg so it's not locked out. Drop that foot in, sitting back in the chair pose. Ooh. If you're like, I thought yoga was just stretching, we will get to the stretching part. Doing a little leg strength first. That twist, back of the left hand comes to the outside of the opposite leg and open. Take a look at your knees. If one of them popped out in front of the other, try to bring them back together. Back to plain old chair. And let's tilt into a fold. Ah. Hope your legs are feeling good. Shake out that neck. Yes, no, and maybe. And then bend those knees. Have a seat on the floor. Grab a drink if you need one. We are going to be lying down and doing a bridge sequence here. Some back strengtheners. All right, so when you're ready.
That's good.
I see the beads of sweat.
Oh, I'm glistening.
It's not just anxious sweat anymore, it's real sweat.
Yep.
I am warm as well. All right, so you want your ankles or your heels pulled in toward your glutes. They're about hip distance apart. So you don't want them like out at the edges of your mat. You don't want them next to each other, kind of in between. If you feel your shoulders shrugging up toward your ears right now, I want you to pull them back. Bring those shoulder blades behind the rib cage. When we do shoulder bridges, first off, note the name, shoulder bridge, not a neck bridge. So when we lift the hips, the weight's in your feet and your shoulders. You should not feel pressure in your neck. The goal is to keep your eye gaze to the ceiling. So if you can, just listen instead of kind of straining your neck. Your arms don't play a big role in this. The goal is to not let them help you cheat. So I just like to leave them out of the sides. If you feel yourself pushing your arms into the ground, you're cheating. Don't do that. So when you're ready, we're gonna start lifting the tailbone up and your mid back. And you just lift those hips as you're able. Again, the weight's in your shoulders and your feet. Don't want to feel it in your neck. You want your neck nice and long here. You want your knees over those ankles so they're not coming in toward each other. They're not bowing out. And roll back down. Slow, slow. Think one vertebrae at a time till that tailbone dips. Take a breath or two here. And then we're gonna come back up. So start rolling up. Get to a position you can maintain. Either stay here or more advanced. You're gonna lift your right leg toe to the ceiling. Stay here, or most advanced today, we're gonna dip. So you dip your hips down and you lift. That's 1. Down and lift. That's 2. This is where your arms shouldn't be helping you, other than just to keep some balance. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Heel drops. Keep that bridge and then slowly roll down. Bring your heels together and let your knees fall out to the side for reclined butterfly. We'll rest here through a couple breaths and then move to the other side. Whenever I do these, I feel like I'm one of those synchronized swimmers. How like all the ladies, they like stick their toes up out of the water all pretty. And I imagine I look like that. I know I don't, but we can, yeah, we can always envision the best of ourselves, right? All right, let's bring those knees back together. Separate those heels so they're hip distance. Bring them into the glutes. When you're ready, start rolling back up. And then either you're holding here, or left leg lifts and you hold here, or you're gonna do the dips with me. So we dip down, and that's 1. Dip down, and that's 2. Down and 3. Down and 4. Down and 5. Release the heel, and we slowly lower. Once you're down, heels come together, knees butterfly out. Close your eyes and rest for a few moments. We have one last bridge exercise. All right, knees come back together, heels open up. We're gonna come back into that bridge. Start rolling when you're ready. Option 1 is gonna be just to hold it. Option 2 is to come into wheel or back bend. If you like to come into wheel, release those hands, place the palms by your ears, and then start to press the palms into the hand until you're in wheel pose. If wheel pose doesn't work for you, stay in bridge.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's go.
Get those heels down.
Okay, all right. Wow, you can even coach in that position.
All right. Let's start coming down slowly if you're in wheel until you're in that bridge. Oh, and then down we go. When I was a kid, those seemed so easy. I was like, I just do back bends all over the place. And now I gotta work my way up to it. It feels good though. Let's pull those knees into your chest. Little rock back and forth. And think about making little circles with your knees. Just start in one direction. And that switch, little circles in the other direction. Just kind of a little massage of the spine. When you're ready, grab behind those thighs and roll it up and face forward. And move into some hip openers. So starting in an easy pose here. All right, so from here, let's have that left leg out in front. We're gonna come into fire log pose. Fire log pose is not for everyone. I'm gonna show you some options. First option is just sitting like this with that left leg out in front. Next option is to pull it into your lap. Trying to feel the stretch on the outside of that hip here. If this really isn't doing anything for you, you're like, I don't feel anything, Heather, then you're coming into fire log. And so heel is gonna be flexed, pushing it on that opposite knee, and think about stacking your legs like logs you throw on fire, hence the name of the pose. Fingertips are gonna start behind. Think about just creating length through the spine. Don't worry about trying to push that knee down. It's gonna automatically come down just with gravity as we go through our poses here. If you feel slumped, really think about lengthening and opening up. Let's take the back of that right hand, coming into a twist, outside of the knee. Lengthen the spine, looking over that back shoulder. So release. Inhale that right arm up. And as you exhale, we're going to side bend. So you're thinking about creating an arc through your spine. So some people just tip from the hips and keep a nice straight spine, but we don't want that. You want to really arch. So think about sticking that rib cage out, stretching through those obliques, opening up through your intercostals, through your rib cage. I mean, how many classes do you get to stretch your rib cage, right? Can you reach a little bit more? Keeping those sits bones grounded though. Inhale, both arms lift up. As we exhale, we tip forward. If you start tipping forward and you're like, nope, that's not gonna work for me today, then hands come behind just like before. And as you lengthen your spine, just think about dropping your chest a tiny little bit as able. Mild discomfort is okay, pain is not. The best way to improve your yoga practice is to listen to your body. Give yourself a challenge, but never cause yourself pain. Then you're going to wind up injured. All right, let's lift up. You're going to release this left leg and just turn it so the knees are kind of stacked here. Palms are going to come over to the side. We're going to come up to a down dog. From here, you're going to lift up your back leg, so your right leg lifts up. You're going to bend the knee, and then you're just going to start to drop that heel to the other side to open up your hip. So that last stretch, open up kind of the outside and back of our hip. This one's going to help open up the front, our psoas, which when tight is a common culprit for lower back pain. I know from personal experience. Try to keep your shoulders square. I know I'm bad at that, and I'm trying to open up here. Let's bring it back over hips, keep it bent. We're gonna draw that knee into our nose. And then we're gonna push it back out again to three-legged dog. If this is too much, bring it back in again. You can drop to your knee and just bring nose to knee. And then bring it out like a tail. So from your knee or from your toe, let's do a couple more. Last time, when you're coming in, hold here, round out that back, hold, hold, hold. And now drop it down into pigeon. If pigeon is too much, you're gonna bring that other leg into a 90-90 pose. If not, reach it out nice and long, turn those hips down toward the floor, bring this right ankle in, flex it, and think about lowering down to the ground. This is a hip stretch, not a knee stretch. So if you're like, wow, this is really working my knee out, you're in the wrong position. And I'm gonna move around so it's opening up that hip. When you're ready, exhale and start to extend forward as you're able. All right, let's lift up. Bring those legs out front. Just shake them out a little bit. We're gonna go to that other side. So, right leg can hang out in front of your body here. If you're not feeling any hip stretch, Draw into your lap. Still not feeling anything. Come into fire log. Heel on the opposite knee. Flex to protect that knee joint. Thinking about stacking those legs like logs. Fingertips start behind. And as we push through the fingertips, our chest lifts and that knee will start to drop. Nice easy breaths in and out of your nose. Let's add that twist. So back of the left hand to the opposite knee, big breath in. Exhale, turn and look over that back shoulder. Let's release. Left arm comes up, we grow nice and tall. Big breath in. As you exhale, C-shape the spine. Again, you're pushing the side out, you're pushing the rib cage out. C-shaping that spine. Lift up, both arms come up as we inhale. We exhale and extend forward. Again, if the forward extension is too much, go back to where we started with the fingertips behind, working on the lengthening through the spine. Release. You're going to release that right leg. Drop it off to the side. Our palms come to the mat. And we come up to our down dog. Back leg, so left leg is going to lift tall in a three-legged dog. We're going to bend that knee and then try to open up the hip by lifting the ankle off to the side. Trying to keep our shoulders squared. Yeah, maybe next week we'll flip it over and do down dog flips with this one.
Whatever works. I'm for it.
All right, let's bring that knee back up, keep it bent. Start drawing it into the nose, and then reaching it back out. Slow and controlled on your breath. Again, if that's too much, come down to that knee, curl it in, and then lengthen it out like a tail. Try to get a couple more in. Last time coming in, when you're there, hold, hold, hold. Try to round that spine. Try to touch the nose to the knee. I don't think mine's ever gonna make it. And then we drop into pigeon or draw that knee in for a runner stretch. So we want those hips turned toward the floor. That left heel pulled in and flexed. Kind of maneuver around. Find that sweet spot for you. And then once you're ready, big breath in. And exhale forward to extend. And if you're in that 90-90 pose, same thing, just falling over that front leg. Lift up, release that leg, coming into bound angle or butterfly from your gym class days. So pulling those ankles in, knees out to the side. Think about lengthening through that spine. And then you can either hold here, or you can try to extend forward. Or a last option would be a very modified turtle, where you can take your arms, palms up, sneak them underneath your legs. You want your elbows to plant with the palms up, and you lie down. If you want to know what an unmodified turtle looks like, feel free to do a little Google image search. I am not quite there in my practice. This modification is helping me work toward that. All right, wherever you're at, start to release. We're going to take your right leg out to the side. Left leg gets pulled in. I want you to turn and face that long leg. Adjust those hips, those sits bones so you're facing it. Big breath in, we lengthen. As we exhale and fall forward, I want you to think about dropping your belly button first, then your chest, then your arms, and then your head. Sometimes when we do this kind of stretch, we just try to reach for our foot right away, and it causes us to really arc our back. We're trying to create length here, not just try to reach the toes. So you want to feel that pull in the back of the leg. Even if you don't make it far, it's better to keep a long spine than it is to just arch over. Because when I arch over, there's nothing going on the back of that leg. I need to keep my chest dropped. All right, transitioning from knee to nose pose, lift up. You're gonna reach that left arm back as far as you can. Lift it up over your head, then C-shape it over. That right arm can go wherever. About reaching behind, then we lift up overhead, C-shape it over. Again, you can kind of use that elbow to open up. Think about lifting that top shoulder up toward the ceiling, not letting it round forward. Lift up, Bring that knee in, back to easy pose, or whatever feels good for you. Nice tall spine, just a couple neck stretches here. Inhale to lift, exhale, drop your ear towards your shoulder. Lift up, and exhale to the other side. Your shoulders stay down, your ear does the dropping. Lift up and chin to chest. Lift up, we're gonna lie down. One more stretch before we come into time of meditation. So go ahead and lie down. All right, just like we were doing the bridges, don't worry, we're not gonna do more though. I want your heels about hip width apart, so not together. And then you're going to drop them over to the right. So drop them toward me, arms come out nice and wide. So your knees are not stacked here, they're open. Option one is to stay just like this. If you feel like you got a little more in you, you're gonna take that right heel and hook it on top of the left knee. If you try that and it doesn't feel good, then please unhook. You just wanna be mindful of your spine. If you hook that heel, unhook, ground it, and roll up and to the other side. So again, these are not stacked here. The heels are separated. Once you've gotten as low as you can go, decide if you want to stay as is or if you want to hook the heel on top of the knee. You might have one side that works and the other that doesn't. Again, just listen to your body, what it needs, how to help it grow. If you hook the heel, release. Heels plant, roll back up. Coming into our time of relaxation. We've got some different options. You can stay just like this, let your knees fall into each other. If you have lower back problems, this might be the best option for you. Another option is to bring the heels together and open up into reclined bound angle, reclined butterfly, which we saw earlier. If you're here, you can also reach overhead and try to grab opposite elbows. Or if you like more traditional, you can come into corpse pose, Shavasana. Lengthen the legs out long, arms out at your sides, shoulders pulled away from the ears. You can even come into legs up the wall, one of my favorites. Pick a position that doesn't make you work to maintain it, something that will let you relax. And hold here. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just trace the pattern of the inhales and the exhales. Think about where it's going in your body. You feel like your breath is trapped in your chest. On your next inhale, I want you to think about pulling that breath down into your abdomen. As you're lying down, you can even put a hand across your tummy, and you want to feel, as you inhale, imagine your tummy's like a balloon. You want to feel it inflating, and your hand should rise. As you exhale, think of like a balloon deflating, and your hand will sink down. Just take a couple more mindful breaths. Inhaling, breathing down, expanding through that abdomen. Exhaling, pushing it all back out. Think about softening through your face, smoothing out your forehead, smoothing out your cheeks. Take one last swallow, and then peel the tongue off the roof of your mouth, let it hang, let your jaw become loose. Scan through your body, starting down at your toes and moving up. If you feel any areas of tightness, places you're still holding on to, I encourage you to just breathe into that place and let it go. Maybe you're still holding your abs in. It's time to release, let it go. Let your hips open, let your feet fall out. Let's end by coming to our thoughts. Think about where you're at in your head. When you start pushing out anything that brings you anxiety, anything that brings you stress, makes you upset. I want you to pick one thing that makes you happy, joyful, brings you peace. Maybe it's a phrase, a person, a place, an encounter, a kindness you experienced this week. We'll be celebrating Easter with me tomorrow. Maybe it's thinking of our risen Savior. And focus on that one thing, whatever it is. And try to train your mind not to wander here. Start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe a gentle roll of the wrist or the ankle. Reach your arms overhead. Think about stretching fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Now curl into a ball. Give those knees a hug and gently rock back and forth. Roll over to one side of your body into fetal position. Lengthen out an arm for your head to rest on. Take a couple more deep belly breaths here. Use your arm.